Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and in this video, I want to go over my top 5 PC games of 2017 so far. Now, I'm not going to lie, this year I haven't been able to play as many games as I would have liked. I played the majority of big games, the games that, got a lot of marketing, but I haven't had a chance to dabble in a lot of the underrated games of the year. I plan to try out a lot of those games over the summer since I have no class, and I'll talk about those in the future, but I still wanted to talk about those big games and the ones that really resonated with me the most. Now, none of these games are actually pure PC exclusives. All of these appeared on consoles. These are just the games that I was into this year that came out. I would say for probably all of these games that the premiere experience was obviously on PC. So while these games did appear on consoles, that doesn't make them bad. They were great on PC, and I had a great time playing them on PC, one of which I think you guys are going to be surprised by, and I'll start off with that with number 5, and that is Tekken 7. I am not big into fighting games. I have never been into fighting games. Really, the only fighting games I've been into were like the anime fighting games, like the Dragon Ball and Naruto games, because they were button mashing and super easy. I played a little bit of Tekken back on the PS1, I think, but by God, I don't remember anything of it. I decided to check out Tekken 7 for some odd reason. I really liked the story. Some of the trailers hooked me, and I have to say I really enjoyed my time with it. And I've played other fighters on PC. I played BlazBlue on PC, but I think Tekken has done fighting game on PC right. Not to say that it's this amazing experience, but it's a quality experience. The game runs really well. It's got a decent amount of options. Controller support is perfect. Obviously, you don't want to be playing this game with a keyboard and mouse, but that goes without saying. Now, I'm not going to lie and say that I'm suddenly going to become an Evo champion. I'm pretty bad at the game, but I enjoyed my time with Tekken 7 a lot, and I really enjoyed the game's single-player mode. It was corny at times, a little bit too over the top for me, but comparatively speaking to a lot of other fighting game single-player experiences, I really enjoyed Tekken 7's experience as a single-player game. The multiplayer obviously is really good. It's got some challenges where you scale up in fights and you can do that single-player as well. It's just a lot of fun. It's a game that I go back to repeatedly, just play a little bit here and there after beating the single-player story. Again, this isn't a game for me where I'm going to go in and play the multiplayer and get super competitive and again become an Evo champion, but for me, I really enjoyed the game, and what it was to me was a fun fighting game to pick up and play. Number 4, definitely want to give a mention to a game that made its long-awaited release on PC, and that's Bayonetta. This game came out back in like 2010 on consoles. I think the release date was actually January 4th, 2010. Something like that. So it was like the beginning of 2010, April of this year, it finally made its way over to PC, and by God, how good of a job did Sega do on this? The port was great, 60 frames per second, the game looked great, played great. It's a Platinum Games experience. It's super fast-paced, super off-the-wall. Think something a bit like Devil May Cry, but honestly, a lot better than the Devil May Cry games in my opinion, and trust me guys, I love Devil May Cry, but Bayonetta is just one step above those titles in my opinion. Visually, in my opinion, it looks really good, being that it is an older game. Sure, it's not going to hold up to some of the juggernauts that came out this year, but still, very fun game, and it was released at a budget price of $20, and that is the perfect price for a game like this. You cannot release a game like Bayonetta on PC 7 years later for $50, even $40. It's got to be a budget price, and they got the price right with $20, and it's a great experience for that price. Moving on to number 3, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I've been a long-time fan of Resident Evil as well. Played Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6. I played some of the older games back in the day when I was a kid, but again, just like Tekken 3, I don't remember too much from them. Resident Evil 7, a lot of people call it a callback to the roots of the series. It brought back a lot of the horror elements, and comparatively speaking to like RE4, which was a fantastic game, I can see the transition. The first hour of Resident Evil 7 will really hook you. It's probably one of the best first hours I've ever played in a game. It's just very hooking. It's a very gripping experience, very atmospheric, and technically this is a game that shines on PC. It's just breathtaking to look at times, and it runs pretty well. Sure, it's not an enormously long experience with a ton of replay value considering it is a full price game, but for what it is, if you're a fan of the franchise, I would say to check it out. It's got some really good gameplay, really engaging story and atmosphere. By no means perfect, but a really good survival horror game. Number 2 is Nier Automata. This was a fantastic game by Square Enix that went a little bit under the radar on PC, but it seems like recently it has been gaining a little bit more and more fame, and that's probably because the game is filled with quality. It is such a great game. Unfortunately, the PC version did fumble a little bit. It's definitely not a bad port by any means, just some people have issues with crashing, but it seems like fixes for the majority of the issues are available online. I personally didn't have any issues with the game, so yeah, take that for what you will. If you guys don't know, this is a follow-up of a game from last generation, Nier. That was a really good JRPG as well. I played that, but don't think you have to play that in order to play Nier Automata. There are some callbacks, but if you jump right into Automata, you're going to be perfectly fine. You'll enjoy the story, you'll enjoy the gameplay, and you'll definitely enjoy the music because this game has some terrific music. Visually, again, a very aesthetically pleasing game, and running the game at 60 FPS looks really good. If you're a newbie gamer, maybe it'll get a little difficult for you that you can't save all the time. Maybe that will take you off a little bit, but in my opinion, it's not too difficult at all. If you have some patience, it's a great game with great gameplay, a lot of content, a really good story. This is a Japanese game, which I know some of you guys aren't fond of, but it's one that I think a Western audience could also enjoy. Has a great cast of character, and like I said, music is phenomenally great. Finally, number 1, this may surprise some of you guys. This came out of left field for me. I really didn't expect to enjoy this game as much as I did, and that is Prey. Before Prey came out, I actually made a video harping on it because the demo didn't come out on PC, and I was like, man, is this going to be another game that's a poor port on PC? Thankfully, that wasn't the case. This game ran beautifully for me. 60 frames per second, 1440p, looked fantastic. fantastic. And then you get to the game itself, and I think this game, atmospherically, was even better than Resident Evil 7. I was absorbed into the world of Prey and its characters and its story. Right off the bat, it bends your mind a lot and gets you really thinking about the story. It takes a lot of twists and turns, and I think that is the strongest element of Prey. The world, its story, its atmosphere makes it very engaging, but the gameplay is also very good. Some things did turn me off a little, like how fast the enemies were, but that is a minor complaint. The game is really good, and this is another game that's very content-filled. I wasn't expecting Prey to have a ton of content, but you can get a lot out of this game. You can spend around 20 hours doing everything in the game, and for a game like this, I really thought it was going to be an 8 to 12 hour experience, and then I'd be done with it. Thankfully, it's not, and like I said, really good version on PC. And a game that maybe for $60 it might turn you away, but with the Steam Summer Sale coming up, if it does drop to like $40, I would recommend checking it out. If it drops to $30, definitely at that price point, I think Prey is a perfect buy. I know it is hard for some of you guys to sound like a $60 purchase. That can be said for Tekken 7 as well. Same thing with Nier Automata. Same thing with Resident Evil 7. Bayonetta is the one game that's $20, so I would get that when you can. But that's going to wrap up this video, guys. Hopefully all of these games go on sale to some degree during the Steam Summer Sale. They're all recent releases, so I wouldn't expect anything crazy. I wouldn't expect 75% off, but maybe Prey will get a 33% off discount. Maybe Tekken 7 will get a 33% discount. Maybe Nier Automata will get a 50% discount. Hopefully we see that, and hopefully you guys check those games out. At the very least, add them to your wish list on Steam, and whenever they do go on sale, you'll be notified. That's a great way to keep track of the games coming out on Steam. That's going to wrap up this video, guys. Let me know, what were your favorite PC games of 2017 so far? Do you agree with my list? Some of you guys may have hated some of these games on this list. I know Prey isn't a game that everybody enjoyed. I don't know why Prey hooked me as much as it did, but it did, and I thoroughly enjoyed the game, as I did with all of these games. I think a lot of you guys are probably surprised by the inclusion of Tekken 7 on this list. Never been a big fighting game guy, but I was really enthralled by that game. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.